Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know, my name is Yanika, and for some reason I thought that I had already made this video, but I was looking back and I was like, wait, I never actually made this video. And actually I think I did make the video, but I deleted it by accident from my camera, and that's happened to me more than once. So I deleted the video by accident, so I think I just never went back and make it again. But as you know, tax filing was extended to July 15th due to COVID, and so this video is basically to help you get through a basic tax return. Now I'm going to go ahead and drop the link for part 1 right here, so make sure that you watch part 1 before going forward with this video, because it'll be very helpful, you know, just to understand some tax basics. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started with this video. Alright guys, so once you go to part 1 of the video, you can go to the description and you'll see a couple links, and you want to go to the TurboTax link and then click on that, and it'll take you to the pricing page for TurboTax, which, you know, you can basically select some of those items about you and they will recommend a service for you. But for the purposes of this video, we're gonna go with the free edition, and so you're gonna click on file for free, which this is for basic tax returns. So we're gonna click on file for $0, and most people will qualify for this. And then you want to go ahead and sign up. Since I already created a basically dummy account, I'm gonna go ahead and sign in. So you want to sign in, and then they will send you a link to your phone where you will then put in whatever code that you need to and continue. This is then gonna take you to getting to know you page, where you want to enter your name, your date of birth, and your zip code. Of course, these are not legit names or anything, so you want to enter those items and click continue. Of course, if you live outside the US, you could file a return for, you know, as a foreign person. They then will take you to a page that says how you feel about your taxes. Since this is a new person trying it out, we're gonna go with not so good. Then they're gonna ask on your marital status, and you want to select whichever applies for you. We're gonna just go with single for the purposes of this video. Then you want to select any of the items that apply to you. So they're just gonna give you a list of various things that can be a part of your financial life, and you just want to select every single item that applies to you. For the purposes of this video, let's say this person is 25, single, with no children, and just you know, very basic things that most 25-year-olds have. And so we're gonna go ahead and select those items and keep clicking show more and select as much items that apply to you as possible. And then you want to go ahead and continue from there. Now, you know, they'll basically give you a quick little summarization of the things that you're gonna do, and then right here you can click to see what documents you will need, so that you can gather those documents before you move forward. That way you don't have to keep stopping to go back and go find those documents. So you want to keep going, and right here they want you to sign some agreement for, you know, the tax software to basically use your information to file your taxes. So we're gonna go ahead and sign those. You don't have to sign it right now, but I'm gonna just go ahead for the purpose of this video, go ahead and sign those and continue on. Now they're gonna take you through your personal information. And so you want to enter all your personal information, and I'm just going to put some random numbers. Of course, for you, you want to put real numbers. For the purposes of this video, I'm just gonna put some random numbers that I'm clicking on my keyboard, and then I'm just gonna select some random occupation. And then after that, you want to go ahead and answer the question. So if you were in the military, if you lived outside the state, because this does have the ability to file in more than one state. If you if someone else can claim you on your taxes, such as your parents. And if you click on learn more, they will give you a quick description of what it is they mean by that, which is something cool with a lot of the softwares. Then you want to go ahead and select whether you're legally blind or not. And legally blind basically means if you can't see without your glasses or contacts and your doctor told you so. I thought I was legally blind because without my glasses, I'm blind, but with my glasses and my contacts, I could see. So, I still think I'm legally blind, but we're not going to talk about that today. We're going to continue on with this video. So you can select if you're legally blind. And the reason for that is you can get a better deduction if you are. And then if you're filing for someone that died or something, then you can also select that. But of course, this is basic, so we're going to continue. And right here, you want to select and review your marital status. I thought it was funny they have a registered domestic partnership. I've not heard of that until this year. I guess that's gonna be replacing married people these days. I thought that was hilarious. And you can continue on from there. So right here, you will put whether or not you have children or other dependents. For the purposes of this, we're going to keep it simple. So we're going to go with no, but of course you select yes if you do, then continue. And you want to enter your mailing address right here. And this is just a random address I'm basically coming up with, and continue from there. You then select the address and continue. You then can select if you lived in another state. And right here, they will just tell you why they chose that filing status for you. And you can continue. And then right here, it'll give you the personal info that you gave them. And basically, this is just a summarization of that. And then, if you see anything that needs to be changed and you want to go ahead and edit. Once you're done with the personal information, you're then going to move on, and they're going to, of course, try to sell you again, which is why I recommend Tax Act. Select Not Now and continue on. And then they're going to get into your income. So you want to go ahead and get started. And the first thing, of course, is your W-2. So you're going to select that you work a W-2. You want to work on your W-2 and continue. And then you're going to just enter information like you see it on your W-2. So this is really not hard. It's not rocket science. All you're doing is data entry. You're just entering the information as you see it on your W-2. So you want to keep adding those information. Of course, these numbers are random. I'm just basically coming up with things for the purposes of this video. You can import your W-2 and it'll get the information in there for you, and all you have to do is review. But since I don't actually have a real W-2, we're just gonna skip the upload and actually enter the information. Now, if you do have the PDF, you want to go ahead and upload, and all you'd have to do is review the information. So you want to just enter the information as you see it on your W-2. We're just going to go with ABC Company and some random address. And just for the purposes of this video, we're just gonna fill out these information, but of course put whatever information you see on your W-2. It then takes you down to the income portion of your W-2, and you want to enter exactly as you see it on your W-2. Of course, remember that your Social Security tax should be 6.2% and your Medicare tax should be 1.45%. So you want to go ahead and make sure those make sense, and then continue on to the less common items. On most W-2 you won't see any of this stuff, so we're just gonna put 0 and continue on to box 12. Box 12 is where you would see things like your 401k, and the cost of your employer sponsored coverage. So you want to go ahead and enter those as you see it in box 12. And right now I'm just gonna put another random number for the purposes of this video. So you can add another row if you need to. You can add as many as you need to and just fill those out. Again, all this information is on your W-2. It's not rocket science. It's not hard to fill out. It's just a little bit of data entry and spending some of your time to get this information in. So I'm just going to select these items and go down to box 13. And usually it's just gonna have retirement plan. But of course, if you have the others, then you want to select those as well. And then you want to continue to box 14, which is like any other taxes. And I know in California we have that disability tax or whatever. And so you want to enter that as seen in that box. And this again is another random number, and then it takes you down to your state and local taxes. For states like Florida and Texas, there are no state taxes, but for places like California and Pennsylvania, we do have state taxes. And even in Philadelphia, which is in Pennsylvania, they have state and local taxes. I know this because I live there and I hate paying those taxes, but it's a part of living in America, I guess. You just got to pay those taxes. So enter your state and local tax information right here. We're going to continue from here. And then it's going to tell you where you are as far as your refund goes. And at the top left hand corner, you can see where they have how much so far you would be getting in a refund. And if you would be owing taxes, it would also say that right here. They'll have some uncommon situations. Since we're just doing a basic return, they're usually not going to apply to you. And so you want to click none of the above and continue. Now it's going to tell you if you have another W-2. Just to keep this video short and sweet, we're just gonna go with no. But of course, if you worked more than one W-2 type jobs, then you wanna go ahead and add those additional W-2s. And then they're gonna ask you other information to see if you have any other income. So whether you made money outside the US, whether you made money from interest, which you would get at the bank, like the bank would typically send you interest form if you made more than $10 or something in interest. It will then ask you if you sold any investments like stocks and bonds. And then it'll ask you if you have a business so that they can find any tax credits. Then whether you collect any money from retirement, or if you had a foreign bank account or anything of that nature. We're keeping this simple, so we're just going to select no for now and continue on. And they will give you a summary of all your income. You want to make sure it looks correct and continue. then it'll let you know that there's a retirement savings credit, and they'll get back to that at a later part in this video. So continue. Right here, they will ask you if you were affected by any federally declared natural disasters. We're gonna go ahead and select no, and you can continue from there. Then they're gonna ask if you sold any virtual currency. This is like cryptocurrency. We're keeping it simple, so continue. And then they're gonna go ahead and check for any tax breaks that you may qualify for. And now they're trying to save you time by letting you know that the standard deduction would give you the best outcome. So you can go ahead and click OK. Let's go ahead and confirm this. They'll ask you questions like whether you paid car registration fee, did you own a home, how much did you donate to charity, and how much you paid in medical expenses. And you can continue, and right here they will check again for you and let you know which one is best for you. Of course, you can go through the itemize if you want to at this point, but this video is already long, so I'm just gonna go ahead and continue. Now they're gonna go ahead and find any tax breaks that apply to you. And so they'll start asking you a series of questions, whether you were in college, about whether you had an IRA or a Roth. They'll ask about your HSA accounts. They'll ask about whether you spent money as a school teacher. And they will also ask about if you had money from any qualified educational programs. We're just keeping it simple, so let's continue. And then they'll show you your tax breaks and the items that you need to go ahead and add to your taxes. So for example, your student loan interest, you can deduct $2,500 in student loan interest payments. So right now I'm just gonna go ahead and again come up with some numbers for the purpose of this video, and go ahead and fill those out. As you can see, it's mostly just about a lot of data entry as far as getting your taxes done, at least for the basic taxes. This information, they send you a form, a 1098E, and that's what you will add that information for your student loans. And all your lenders should send you that at the end of the year if you paid student loan interest. So for some reason, TurboTax doesn't allow you to deduct student loans without getting the deluxe edition, which is weird because Tax Act does not do that. So I'm using TurboTax for the purpose of this video, but I highly recommend using Tax Act for your basic tax return. And they typically don't charge you. So I'm gonna go ahead and add the student loan deduction, and this is an above the line item. And then I'm gonna go ahead and continue to the retirement savings contribution credit. So we're just gonna go ahead and follow the prompts. If you had a retirement account, they're gonna continue to ask a series of questions, and you just want to go ahead and answer the questions truthfully and continue on. So they're going through the retirement to see if you qualify for the credits, and you want to just go ahead and answer everything honestly. So if you have an ABLE account or any additional contribution outside of your 401k, you would want to put that information here and continue. Now you're here and they let you know that you can take whatever tax break, which they'll add it, and then you want to continue on after you finish this section on your tax breaks. You can click see all tax breaks to see what else is there. And if you feel like they missed anything and you want to go through and see, you can go through and start those and fill those out. Um, but for the most part, everything should be pretty accurate if you answered everything truthfully. So you want to continue, and they'll take you through any uncommon tax situations that you may qualify for. So you want to get started on that. So there's various other things that you can get deductions or credits for, and so you want to go ahead and answer those questions and continue. Now we're gonna look at the other items. Um, as you see, they have several other, alternative minimum tax, business tax deductions, stuff like that. But we're keeping it basic, keeping it simple. So we're gonna go ahead and continue, and they take you to this. Basically, it's a health insurance form for people that get their health insurance from the marketplace. So the 1095A form. If you get your health insurance through your employer, then you would get a 1095C. And you want to go ahead and continue. They'll go ahead and check your return for any mistakes or anything like that, and then you want to go ahead and continue, and they'll tell you how much refund you're getting so far. Then they're gonna take you to your state tax return. Now if you only have one state, then they'll go through that, but if you were to, let's say, have two different states, then they'll take you through one state, then take you to the next state to wrap up your taxes. So we're going to go ahead, and what they're doing is basically transferring your federal information to your state tax information. And then there are certain items that you may be able to deduct from your state tax that you were not able to deduct on your federal tax. So we're going to just go through this. Similar to what you did on the federal return, you want to just follow the prompts and answer everything as honest as possible. And if you don't understand something, you can always click on it. For example, in California, you can claim some dependents on your state tax that you're not able to claim on your federal tax. So you want to just make sure that you just go through everything. And of course, if something you don't understand, then you may want to seek help of a professional, as I will always say. But for the most part, everything is pretty self-explanatory, and you just continue on as you answer the questions. So right here, they're showing you things that California handles differently than the federal taxes. So it's different on your California taxes than it is on your federal taxes. And you can always go into each item and see if it's something that you need to change or something that you need to review. It might take some time, but it's worth it to, just go through as much as, you have questions about, and just continue to Just go through and make sure that everything is making sense. If it's not making sense, then you need to go ahead and enlist some help. For the most part though, if your tax is pretty basic like I've been showing, then a lot of the items won't apply to you. And right here in California, I guess they have this renter's credit if you're a renter. And so I'm gonna go through and answer these questions, and it should be able to give a rental credit, which they'll add to the tax. Well, add to the refund, I should say. Of course, you want to make sure that you answer everything truthfully. Do not lie on your tax return. The last set of people you want coming after you is the IRS. So if you don't qualify for something, do not lie about it. Be as honest as possible and make sure that you're not claiming stuff that you can't claim, because at the off chance you do get audited, you want to be able to prove everything that you said on your tax return. Right here, they're talking about use tax, and for the purposes of this video, we're just gonna say no and continue. Right here, they're talking about the alternative minimum tax, and we're not gonna have this apply to us since this is just very basic, low to moderate-ish income type person. So we're just gonna click skip the AMT and continue because it doesn't apply to most people. And then we're gonna go ahead and check for ways to save money in California. And this would be for any state. Every state has their own different laws and stuff. So right here, even California has their own earned income tax credit. Do remember though that every state is different. So what one state may have, another may not. So make sure that whatever you're doing applies to your state. And we're just gonna follow the prompts and continue. And you also want to review anything else that you think you may qualify for. Again, we're keeping this really simple. If you need to, you can go through them, but I've already made this video a little bit too long. So we are going to just skip over going through those and continue. But again, if you need help and you don't understand any of these items, then I do recommend enlisting the help of a professional to help you, because everyone's tax situation is different. So what's for you may not be for the next person. So always remember that when you're going through your taxes. We're gonna continue, and they're gonna ask for a donation. We're just gonna say no and continue. Right here, they're going through a couple other items. And if you need to, then you can go through it. But for the purposes of this video, again, we are just going to go ahead and move forward. Right here, they're going to do another check for your state taxes. So the system is supposedly to look for any thing they missed, basically. And then from this point on, you're going to continue again. This is basically you wrapping everything up. They're showing you how much you should expect to get back. And so now they're gonna tell you the status of your tax return and continue. So they're gonna go through one more check. I know it's a lot of checks, but it's necessary. And remember, this is a software, so they can definitely miss things. So you definitely, want to go through on your own as well. But they'll give you your final numbers and you can continue from there. Okay guys, we're gonna continue from here. And now they come with charging you again. They're trying to sell you more things, and so we're just gonna skip this. I don't know why TurboTax is like this. I think that's why I never used TurboTax before to begin with. I highly recommend using TaxAct. And no, I'm not getting paid to say that. It's just I've used them before and it's just way better. Now they'll tell you your total refund, and we're gonna go ahead and continue. And right here, they're asking like how you would like to pay. So what you can do is just pay with your federal refund. So what they'll do is they'll take it out of your federal taxes. It's similar to if you went to a CPA office. They would typically, you know, let you pay after you get your refund. Similar concept online. Then you want to sign and continue, and then they'll let you know if you qualify to do that, and you continue. And right here they'll ask you where you want to send your refund info, and we're just gonna go ahead and put in some dummy information for the purpose of this video. I'm just going to continue to add some random information just for the purposes of this video, and we're going to continue. So they'll have where to send your refund once it goes through, and usually you'll get it within like 2 weeks. And so we're going to continue. This is just some other stuff I guess TurboTax has. We're just gonna go ahead and continue. Then they're gonna have this disclosure consent form that you have to sign and continue. We're just gonna continue for the purpose of this video. I am tripping. I am putting my name. I forgot I was Jane Doe for a minute there. That's funny. So once you continue, it'll let you know that you can go ahead and e-file. Again, e-file is very quick. You'll usually get your refund in 2 weeks. But if you don't like sending your stuff electronically, they still have options where you could file by mail. So you want to go with e-file and continue. And then they're going to have you, verify your identity and stuff like that. And of course you'd want to use your driver's license or something, but for the purpose of this video we're just not gonna do anything. We're just gonna continue. You want to read through these refund agreements and sign what you need to sign and continue, or I'm sorry, agree to it and continue. And then they'll have your information, and then you'll put, if you're a citizen, resident, or a non-resident, and then you continue to the disclosure consent. Want to read through that. And I mean, I know it sounds crazy, or it might seem long, I should say, but you should actually read through this stuff, okay? Don't sign anything that you don't read through. I know it's kind of redundant, but it's important that you know what you're signing. Then we're gonna go ahead and continue again. They're giving you the payment breakdown basically. They're letting you know they're taking that, I guess they're charging what, $155? That is ridiculous. Please do not use TurboTax, you guys. That's ridiculous. All because you added a student loan interest. That's so ridiculous. So we're gonna just continue for this video, but I highly don't recommend this. Tax Act does not do that, by the way. They don't charge you just because you're adding your student loans. That's just absolutely ridiculous. We're gonna continue. So right here again, you can file by mail, and if you want to do it electronically though, you will have to fix your return. So I put 000 for employer ID, and they're letting it be known that those it's not accurate, which obviously, since I'm just filling this out for the purpose of showing you how to fill it out. So I'm just gonna have to come up with some numbers to basically be able to show you where it'll take you next. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back. So I'm gonna go back and fix those numbers so that it can take me to the final page. So I'm gonna fix those numbers and continue. Then I'm gonna go ahead and move forward, and right here it'll now let you continue to, right here you can go ahead and take a look at your return. You can take a look at either one, and if you need to update anything at this point, you should. And so for this, just to make the video a little bit shorter, we're just gonna go ahead and continue. Down at the bottom here is where you would go ahead and transmit your tax return. You should be able to sign and push through your document, and it will go through to the IRS and to your state. And then once you're finished, you can go to tax home, and from here you'll be able to view your actual return once you push it through. They're showing this because I didn't push it through, since I just did this so that you guys can see how to do it. But down here you'll be able to see your actual tax that you filed, and review anything if you need to. I know with Tax Act you can actually push through an amended return if there was something that you missed. Okay guys, that is it for how to just get your basic tax return done. Now of course, if your tax returns are a lot more complicated than this, I know for me, mine took me like 5-6 hours, but it was well worth it, you guys. So if your taxes are a lot more complicated than this video showed, then of course you do want to possibly go ahead and enlist the help of a professional. But for the most part, let's say you have kids or something like that, you can add it to some of these softwares and they will find those deductions for you. But there are tax returns that are a lot more complicated than that. If you have investments, if you have a home, if you have rental property, if you're self-employed, it just gets a lot more complicated, and that's why the price goes up for tax returns like that. So you definitely maybe want to get the help of a professional. Sometimes there are things that you could probably do yourself if you are willing to sit down and do the research yourself, but you may still miss some things. And so sometimes it's better to enlist the help of a CPA or EA that knows what the hell they're doing, because not all of them do. And so make sure that you do enlist the help if you need it. But most people don't have that complicated of a tax return, and so you could probably sit down and do your return in 2 hours. So hopefully this was helpful. As always, if you have any questions, you can drop it in a comment or you can email me, and as always, I will respond as soon as possible. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.